Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we're going to be doing a comparison between a Gen 3 Ford Raptor with the 37 Performance Package and a Ford F-150 Black Widow Edition. First and foremost, though, a huge shout out and thank you to the Kengar Ford here in American Fork for giving me some time with the Black Widow F-150. This one is available for sale right now, so I'm going to include a link to their inventory in the description down below. If you also want to special order a Black Widow truck through them, you can do that, and then also with the Gen 3 Raptors as well. And then before we get into the video, I do want to mention I just released my car buying course, so if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to that in the description down below. It's super affordable. Let's get into the video. So let's pop under the hoods of both of the trucks, starting with the Black Widow F-150. We have a naturally aspirated 5-liter V8, goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. It's good for 400 horsepower and 410 pound-feet of torque. And again, it's a naturally aspirated V8. This thing sounds killer. Now, popping from that to the Raptor, we have a twin-turbo 3.5-liter V6, goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. It's good for 450 horsepower and then 510 pound-feet of torque. So this does have more horsepower, more torque, but obviously doesn't have the fun V8 sounds. In terms of fuel economy, these trucks are actually going to be pretty similar, believe it or not, and that's under the hoods. Let's go with the front ends of both of the trucks. We'll start over here with the Black Widow F-150. I cleared off as much snow as I could, and it's still snowing, so it's a losing battle. Anyways, you guys can see here we've got the venting on either side, which looks great. You've got the full LED lights here, so you've got the accent light that continues there into the fog light region, and then notice we got the Black Widow front grille with the little Black Widow logo there in the center, and then the bigger Black Widow logo just below the Ford logo. We've got the tow hooks here on the front end, and you guys can see just how high this is off of the ground. You can see a little bit there with the front end, but yeah, definitely just massive from a front end perspective, and it makes the Raptor look small, to be completely honest. Now, popping over here to the Raptor, we've got the venting here in the center with the Raptor logo right there, and then you guys can see we've got the orange LED accent lights with the orange marker lights. This is kind of a Raptor thing. The giant Ford logo for the front grille, also a Raptor thing with a camera there in the center of the Ford logo. Parking sensors here on the front bumper. And you guys can see we've got the skid plate popping out front and center with the tow hooks. And then we've got the rigid fog lights that is also part of the Raptor package. And yeah, there's the front ends. Now let's get into the fun stuff. Starting over here with the Black Widow, we have 35s. Those are Raptor on 20-inch wheels. And you can see the setup just looks absolutely killer. I love how the wheels are all blacked out with some silver accenting. Got the red Black Widow brake caliper. And then this truck does have a 6-inch lift as part of the Black Widow package. You guys can see that whole setup from the front end perspective. Definitely gives this truck a pretty crazy stance. Now popping over to the Raptor, we have 17-inch wheels and we have 37s on this one because this is a 37 performance package. And you guys can see here, very dirty, but we've got the live valve shocks from Fox. That's the big thing with the suspension on and shocks with this. And then notice got the off-road side steps, and we have off-road type side steps here on the Black Widow as well. Another Black Widow logo, the cool accenting right there. And then notice with the Raptor, we've got the venting right here. And you guys can see the height difference with the mirrors. It's kind of like the best place, so you can see just how tall the Black Widow is. And then you can see with the fender flares, just how those are oversized on both of them. And notice we got the bolts here with the Black Widow. And then the other thing to mention, obviously the Raptor does have a wide body, but it's not as wide as before. So the rear definitely, but you can see here at the front with the Raptor, it's a little bit wider, but it's not that much wider compared to the Black Widow F-150. And then popping here to the rear, same exact setup with both of them. And then notice we got the Fox shocks here in the rear. We do have leaf springs here on the Black Widow F-150, whereas the Raptor has the new 5-link coil suspension for the rear end, so there is that key difference as well. And then also I should mention these wheels are beadlock capable. These ones are just for show, but they still look so cool. I've got the key fobs for both of the trucks, and you guys can see the functionality on both of them is the same, so we're going to lower down the tailgates on both of them. I don't know if I can get the Raptor one. Ah! I pressed the alarm instead of the tailgate. You know what? Anyways, while I'm still fumbling with that, let's talk about payload capacity. So we have a payload capacity of about 1,222 pounds here on the Black Widow. The Raptor has about 1,300 pounds. The Raptor actually has a higher payload capacity, which is very strange, but that's that. Let's pop into the beds of both of the trucks. So you guys can see here with the Black Widow F-150, we've got the LED light, you've got the power outlet down below, and then you can see the cargo light there at the top. Got Ford's measuring table, all that fun stuff. And I do not believe this is the auto raise, so you do have to lift up the tailgate yourself. Oh, what a shame, it's so difficult. I'm just kidding. Popping over here to the Raptor, you guys can see again LED lights. You've got the outlet. Notice we do have an LED cargo light there. The top's a little bit different. Still have the whole measuring stuff, and then Ford's bed step. I believe that one has a bed step as well. I'll go double check in a second. But the nice thing about the Raptor is you can be lazy, has the auto raise with the tailgate, and we will clear off the snow. This one does have the bed step. And that is all for the tailgate bed area. Now let's finish things up here with the rear. You guys probably noticed the key difference is with the taillights. So you've got the base F-150 taillights here on the Black Widow, whereas the Raptor has the upgraded LED taillights. Got the giant Ford logo here on the back, which you can delete to make it look like that. But I mean, I like this. Anyways, another Black Widow logo here, and then you guys can see the parking sensors here on the rear, and we've got the exhaust for that V8. Definitely sounds fantastic. If you guys want to hear some exhaust clips and some driving and everything, go check out my Black Widow F-150 review that I also filmed here at the Ken Garford in American Fork, where you can hear all that fun stuff. And then we've got down below at the Raptor, parking sensors here on the bumper, and then we do have a new exhaust for the Raptor that sounds good, but again, it's a V6, it's not a V8, and also my exhaust is caked in mud because I use my truck for what it's meant for, and yeah. Now here is the door panel in the rear of the Black Widow F-150. You guys can see the material use at the top and then the padding down below with all the stitching. We do have the Bang & Olufsen sound system, and got the little map of Detroit, I believe. Anyways, here are the seats. As you can see, really nice stitching all throughout here on the seat, and I'll brush off the snow. This does come with the Black Widow package, these particular seats. And then you guys can see here with the little outlets and all that fun stuff, and legroom and everything is great. But closing that, opening up the Raptor, you guys can see we've got the blue interior on this one. You can see the orange stitching, and then the padding down below looks a little bit different. And I have a bunch of stuff because I'm still in the process of moving. But anyways, if I oh, you got to pull the strap down. Apparently I don't know how to use my own truck. You guys can see here with the seats, a little bit different from a material standpoint and design standpoint and all that fun stuff. You do have heated seats here on the rear, so that's the added thing, and trash bag, so see ya. Here's the door panel at the front. You guys can see again with the material use and then the padding down below. All of our window controls, and you guys can see the door lock and unlock, and again another map. The mirrors do have blind spot monitoring, and here are the front seats. You got the Black Widow logo, and then you guys can see the stitching all throughout. Pedal layout down below. Got the pedal adjustment, light controls, all that fun stuff, and we'll see how easy it is to get in. So just gotta use that. It's actually not bad at all. And listen to this. V8. Gotta love the V8. So you guys can see here with the steering wheel, you've got the nice leather all around it with the stitching there. Got our cruise control here with the volume and voice command controls for the center stack. Got our turn signal, windshield wiper stock. And then you can see here the gauge cluster. You got the custom Black Widow gauges on either side, and then the screen there in the center. And there's a bunch of different menus you can scroll through here to see different bits of information on the vehicle. Now as for the drive modes, we have normal, tow haul, eco, sport, and then on the other side, we've got our slippery, deep snow, sand, mud ruts, and then we have rock crawl as well. So quite a few drive modes. And here at the top, we have a bunch of controls. So like auto stop start, you guys can't really see it because of the lighting, but one is for the camera, hazard lights, hill descent control, and then stability control. And we've got the 12-inch display. If we pop it into reverse, you guys can see we've got a backup camera with trajectory lines, got the zoom function. These do turn with the steering wheel. And then if I press that camera button, it just pops the backup camera on. But overall, 12-inch display, great response time, and it's cool that this truck has the 12-inch display. Down below, we've got our analog controls for the radio, climate controls. This does have dual zone climate, heated seats for the front. Notice we've got our trailer brake controls, our drive line select. This has everything except for 4-wheel auto. We do have a locker for the rear. And then you can see storage space here. Got a couple cup holders, got the shifter that does fold down, and then we just have the regular center console. This isn't the workbench center console that folds out the other way. And then notice the dual glove box setup here. Love the material used here. I think it matches the Black Widow package pretty well. And then up top here, got a sunglass holder, power sliding window. And then this truck does have a panoramic sunroof. And let's head to the Raptor. So here's the door panel at the front with the Raptor. You guys can see again the blue with the orange stitching, and then down below, all of our window controls. We've got the memory seats, and then we have the carbon fiber blind spot monitoring for the mirrors. And then you guys can see here with the front seats with the Raptor logo and then the bolstering on them. Pretty aggressive. Power adjustments. Pedal layout down below. Still have the pedal adjustment, light controls, all that fun stuff. And getting in is quite a bit easier because this truck is lower to the ground. Ooh. So I'm just going to go over the key differences. So the steering wheel is quite a bit different on the Raptor. It's fatter and kind of like grippier overall. And then obviously the orange stitching has the Raptor logo. And you do get the paddles that are paired to that 10-speed automatic. And then you have a bunch of customization, like with the steering feel, the suspension, and the exhaust as well. And then we have the full digital gauge cluster here with the Raptor. So you guys can see with the drive modes, for example. And the biggest thing is we've got like a Baja drive mode with the Raptor, but all the other drive modes are pretty much the same. Obviously, we got a Raptor in the animation rather than an F-150, but yeah, pretty much same setup there in the center. Obviously, looks different because it's a full digital gauge cluster. And then as for the infotainment system, this is all the same, except we've got a 360 camera system here with the Raptor, so you have a bunch of different camera views to go through. So that is a little bit better than what you have with the Black Widow F-150. Other than that, the rest of the functionality is pretty much the same. And then we do have 4-wheel auto. That is another key difference. We've got ventilated seats as well. That's another difference. Wireless phone charger in this area. That's another difference. And then this one has the workbench center console. It says Raptor on it. Carbon fiber on the glove box. Still have a power sliding rear window. We do have auxiliary switches here at the top with the Raptor, whereas the Black Widow F-150 does not. And then still have a panoramic sunroof as well. And also speakers in the headrests. That's another difference with the Raptor. And that's all. Now let's get into pricing with both of the trucks. So the Black Widow F-150 stickers for about 83 grand, and so does the Raptor as well. So they're technically from the factory the same price. However, because of market adjustment and everything, Raptors are going for like $20,000 over sticker for the most part, whereas a lot of these Black Widow F-150s you can find right around sticker price roughly, give or take a little bit, depending on your region and everything. So the Raptor is technically quite a bit more expensive, even though the sticker prices are identical. Now that's pretty much going to sum things up for our comparison. I want you guys to let me know which truck you would pick and why, whether it's the Black Widow or the Raptor. And again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Kengar Ford here in American Fork for giving me some time with the Black Widow. Check out the inventory in the description down below. I'll see you guys.